On Sunday afternoon in the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal will be playing a huge game in the FA Cup third round. You don't often say that the FA Cup third round is going to be a huge game, but this one is not so much for the FA Cup reasons, but for the reasons that we have been struggling lately. Liverpool, who we'll be versing, is a really good team, top of the table, about 5 points ahead of us. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a crucial game for our season. And like I said, I don't think it's because of the FA Cup that's going to be a huge game. It's just because of the mental factor that we're going up against Liverpool, and a win against Liverpool will do us so much good for how bad we have been recently. So in today's video, I'll be previewing the game, talking about the potential starting 11 and how I think the game will go. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Gunner Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, going into this game, our last 5 games have not been good to us at all. We have 2 draws, 2 losses, and just 1 win in our last 5 games. We have just not been good enough, and it's been very evident across the Arsenal fan base that we expect more and that we want more from this team. This team is capable of putting out much better performances than we've seen in our last 2 games, and when we played against West Ham, it was a piss poor effort. We weren't good enough at all, but then we had to go travel away 3 days later to Craven Cottage, and you thought to yourself, this could be a good game to bounce back, prove that we are still a good team, and that West Ham game was a once-off. We went to Craven Cottage and put in an even worse performance than we did against West Ham. We got beat 2-1 to a Fulham team that didn't really do all that much, didn't really pose us a threat. We beat ourselves. We just weren't good enough at all. So now, hopefully this time around, we can bounce back. I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, maybe I'm a pessimist. I just don't have much faith right now going into this game. Liverpool is on a flyer. Yes, they're not going to have Mo Salah, who is their best player by far, because he's going to the AFCON, but I still know just how good this team is. They're pretty injury struck, so maybe we can go in and put in a good performance with a fairly strong team that we have. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough ask, but I really hope we can bounce back. Now, as for Liverpool's last 5 games, they are unbeaten in their last 5. 2 draws and 3 wins, and they have been looking absolutely elite sometimes. So like I said, with them not having Mo Salah, maybe we can rely on that. But I said in my football channel video that I don't think they rely on Mo Salah as much as we think. Not that Mo Salah is an elite player, but I think them missing Mo Salah is not going to be the end of the world. They are such a good team, top to bottom. Alisson is probably the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment, so it's really going to be tough for us. In the FA Cup, they're going to want to prove a statement as well by beating us. And last time around when we played them 1-1, I thought Liverpool got the better of us. We probably didn't deserve to win. We were lucky to get a draw, or that's how I think anyway. A draw was maybe fair on the balance of play, but I thought if one team had to win, it was probably going to be Liverpool. We just really weren't all that good. So hopefully this time around we can put in a much better performance than we've been seeing recently, because our last really good performance was probably the Brighton 2-0 win. And even there, we weren't really good in the final third. We had a good overall performance, but we weren't great in the final third, so hopefully we can be a lot better this time. To be honest with you, I don't really care about the FA Cup right now. I just want to focus on the league and the Champions League, but like I said, it's not really about the FA Cup this game. This game is about winning and beating a team that's on top of the table and proving a point to not only ourselves, but the fan base that this team is still really good. Now onto injuries and suspensions. We're going to start off with the home team, as in Arsenal. And as for us, we're going to have Tomiyasu out to the Asian Cup, and Al Neni will be going to the AFCON, so neither one of them. And I mean, Tomiyasu has just come back from injury and he has to go to the Asian Cup. Really, really unfortunate, especially with how much we need him at the left back position. Partey didn't go to AFCON because he is still injured. Timber and Vieira will still not be available for the game. And Alexander Zinchenko, while we don't really know his calf injury, he may be healed, he may not. It's kind of touch and go there. We'll see what happens. So we are pretty injury riddled, but not nearly as much as Liverpool. So Liverpool are obviously without Salah, like I said, but they're also not going to have Endo, they're not going to have Duak, they're not going to have Tsimikas, Thiago. I mean, they are Andrew Robertson, Joel Matip, and recently Szoboszlai went off limping against Newcastle, so they are really, really injury struck. I'm going to be interested to see what starting 11 they play and how strong they want to play against us, and vice versa. I'm not too sure how strong Arteta wants to field the team against Liverpool. Now on to the starting 11 that I would play if I was in charge, and for me in goal, it has to be Aaron Ramsdale. Not because I prefer Ramsdale over Raya, even though that is true. For me, it just has to be Ramsdale. He is essentially the cup keeper, so in the cup, you should be starting your cup keeper. Ramsdale is proven good when he has played, besides maybe 1 or 2 games. Me, Ramsdale starts in goal, but the back line is where it gets a little bit iffy. I don't know, because no Tomiyasu, we don't know about Zinchenko. In the starting 11, I'm going to say there is no Zinchenko. So my left back it's going to have to be Kivior. It's just going to have to be. I know Kivior got cooked against Fulham, and going up against Liverpool is not going to be any easier, but it has to be Kivior. There's no one else other than maybe you can go grab and pick Gabriel at the left back position. I don't know. Have to start Kivior, and maybe Zinchenko can be fit so we don't have to. Right back for me, Ben White, and my two centre backs would be Saliba and Gabriel. And now my midfield for me would be Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and instead of Martin Odegaard, I'm going to be putting in Emil Smith Rowe. It's a cup game. Smith Rowe's been good when he plays. Not great, just good, but he needs more minutes, so for me, Smith Rowe starts. My front three would be Bukayo Saka, Gabby Jesus, and at left wing position, instead of Martinelli, I'm going to be starting Leandro Trossard. But let me know in the comments what do you guys think about my starting 11, and what are your predictions for the game. Let me know in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.